Kanye West isn't just an artist. He's a one-man headline generator with a PhD in chaos and a minor in fallout.
You know, I was two months, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, I was 2 months from going bankrupt.
Really?
And I put everything I had into it. We moved to Italy, we moved to the factories, and we survived. We survived through the cancellation. We're back #1.
1 minute, he's revolutionizing music and fashion, and the next, he's setting Twitter or X ablaze with all caps rants, deleted posts, and enough beef to open a steakhouse. He doesn't just burn bridges, he live streams the fire, sells merch, and drops a mixtape while it's still smoldering. In this deep dive, we're not just talking about petty shade or rap rivalries. We're talking full-on lyrical warfare, backstabbing bromances.
Things have just changed. I'm not just some kid that's a fan anymore. And now we have personal situations.
Industry takedowns, and some of the messiest fallouts hip-hop has ever seen. Drake, Kendrick, Future, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, The Game, Playboi Carti, even top 5, nobody's safe when Kanye's feeling disrespected and has a phone in his hand. So buckle up, because we're about to unpack the wildest, pettiest, and most unhinged moments, where other rappers and a few icons finally said, "Yay, chill."
Do you think the controversy helped you?
It wasn't about the controversy, it was about the ability to say how you felt out loud. And if I didn't have the various skill sets of music and clothing and a fan base, they would have been able to destroy me.
Whether it was a cryptic post, a savage clapback, or a silent power move that spoke louder than any diss track, these moments prove one thing: Kanye may start the fire, but sometimes the smoke comes right back. Let's get into it. Leave it to Kanye to attack Drake. Again, for no apparent reason. This beef has been marinating since 2018, when Kanye heard through the grapevine of tabloids that Drake and Kim Kardashian had relations in the past, and decided to confront Drake. The funny part about it, these rumors didn't come straight from Drake's mouth, nor did he even start the rumor. However, Ye being Ye decided to confront Drake directly via Instagram. Although he deleted the post, we still can quote him saying, "People making rumors or thinking you f***ed my wife, and you're not saying nothing and carrying it like that don't sit well with my spirit." Through many now deleted social media posts, Kanye ironically called Drake a bully and claimed that he was using X to bully him. Though the beef was never officially squashed, Kanye ended up apologizing to Drake and even admitted to being jealous of the Canadian rapper. Now, in 2023, Drake did release a song that included an insult aimed straight at Ye. Drake's song, Search and Rescue, includes an audio sample of Kim talking about divorcing Ye.
"I didn't come this far just to come this far and not be happy."
Okay.
Remember that.
You didn't come this far just to come this far.
Yep. I saw it on the internet.
Is that why he started spilling testosterone-flavored tea from an alpha pot with a gold-plated spoon? Could be. But either way, Ye seemed to go on a rampage.
I'm not really sure what he's referring to half the time, you know, because in the same breath, I mean, you know, I went from being like working on a project with him to him sort of like publicly on me and DJ Khaled for being on the radio too much, you know. I accept it, I don't respect it at all.
Fast forward to March of this year, the Super Bowl unfolded and Kendrick Lamar's performance gave way to much controversy. Out of nowhere, Kanye takes to X with many rants not only coming at Drake, but also Kendrick Lamar and Future. I'll gladly cover the juiciest of the series. Ye starts by announcing, after listening to Carti's album, Ima Say, Future's washed. Soon after he added, "I actually kind of like Kendrick's halftime show, but me or Trav or f***ing Aka Drake deserved a Super Bowl before Kendrick." Then he continued throwing shade like he was being paid by a shadow. "I'ma keep it light with Drake. Drake a f***er, been a f***er, always will be a f***er." Circling back to Kendrick, he baked him like it was Sunday dinner. Nobody has ever listened to Kendrick or knows any of his songs. And if it couldn't get any worse, he buried him. I don't personally have an issue with Kendrick. I probably will now, but he was a pawn to take down f***er Drake. And just as Kendrick and his fan base were beginning their journey of healing, Kanye makes yet another post, claiming, "Maybe if I sing about philia, I can do the Super Bowl. Everybody, forever." And if we haven't gotten enough of Ye's attacks on Kendrick, he announced on X shortly after, "I hated like us." Only Kanye could turn decades-old rumors into a full-blown social media circus and still expect a standing ovation. Calling Drake a bully while typing out a caps lock meltdown is like a cat accusing the dog of shedding too much hypocrisy at its finest. Ye's rampage felt less like a feud and more like a reality show reunion where everyone forgot to take their meds. Also, who knew throwing shade like he was on salary from the Shadow Department of Petty Affairs could qualify as full-time employment with benefits and unlimited Wi-Fi. At this point, Kanye's keyboard deserves its own therapist, because that digital finger-wagging was next-level messy and honestly, kinda entertaining. Just when it seemed like he was done torching bridges, he turned and aimed at the power couple no one dares to cross. Going after the folks who basically are the industry? Bold move. Jay-Z plus Beyoncé. Literally in the same month, Kanye West had the audacity to troll yet another couple, one that most wouldn't imagine ruffling feathers with, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. And Ye didn't just come at them, he clowned their children with no mercy. In one of his many rants on X, he questioned, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay and Beyoncé's younger kids? They're retarded." Then, he had the nerve to insist, no, like literally, and this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having retarded children is a choice. It was a line so vile, so unhinged. Even his most loyal defenders had to log off. He didn't just cross a line, he set it on fire and danced on the ashes. Attacking two of the most powerful figures in music was one thing, but dragging innocent kids into it? That's not trolling, that's demolition. And let's be honest, you don't casually disrespect a couple who can end careers with a single nod. This wasn't Ye poking the bear. This was Ye storming the palace gates, swinging wildly, and then wondering why the guards were looking at him sideways. Say what you will about the previous rants, but this one felt different, colder, more reckless, and dangerously detached from reality. At this point, it's hard to tell if Ye is seeking revenge, relevance, or just chaos for chaos's sake. And while Jay and Bey stayed silent like the quietest mic drop in history, their silence echoed louder than any post Ye could type in all caps. No response was the response. Because when you're sitting at the top, you don't argue with the wind, you let it pass, and keep building empires. Beyoncé's mother, Tina Knowles, on the other hand, did not let Kanye's comments go unscathed. Corny joke time. It's hard to remain positive and classy in the face of ignorance and evil, but I know that no weapon formed against me or my family shall prosper. This battle is not mine, but the Lord's. I know that God has got this.
So I'm on the set of a photo shoot today for my book, and I wanted to tell you a corny joke because I have on all this glamorous hair and makeup, thanks to Cole and Darius. And Sienna on camera work. Got a corny joke. Want to hear it? Here it goes. So, what happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? He has a meltdown. Y'all know that's funny.
Tina may have clapped back with grace and conviction, but Ye wasn't slowing down, he was just changing targets. Before the smoke could even clear, he reignited an old alliance, only to torch it just as quickly, the game. And as April rolled around, it appears that the Kanye and the game's professional relationship has officially ended. Why, you ask? The game is producing another album, titled The Documentary 3, and he was joining forces with Kanye. The project seemed to be progressing seamlessly as the duo announced their collaboration. That was until Ye took to social media to call out the game for showing support to Toronto MC Top 5, despite accusations that Top 5 had threatened Kanye over the phone, and he's an affiliate of Drake, who we know is another one of Ye's enemies. Alongside these claims, the Chicago artist also made additional allegations regarding the OVO mogul and supposed hidden efforts to undermine him. Unfazed by their history, the game, also known as Chuck Taylor, responded to Ye with fresh posts online, refusing to stay silent. Kanye started with his social media post. You and Yo Maybox Little in response. The game clapped back so hard, the Wi-Fi dropped. I'll be back in LA in a week. Come get him yourself. I ain't never asked you weird a percent for nothing. And when you gave me the cars, I said you ain't have to. And I was good, but you insisted. Then you hit me with the, you ain't never gotta worry about nothing ever in your life. I owe you for being the only solid out of everybody. Got my number, but won't call like a man and address a situation you asked me to fix. Nobody on earth weirder than these industry. Let me give you some background, as this seems to be caused by more Kanye beef, but with Drake instead. The two hip-hop artists started beefing back in the early 2000s and 10s, when Ye claimed to have enough money to take Drake out. And if you're unaware, Top 5 is an affiliate rapper by Drake's, meaning that Drake simply supports him. But we know, typical Kanye, who is always stirring the pot and being mad when he gets burned with boiling water. Anyway, after all of these years, the history between these mega rappers still seems to sting. This feud reads like a final season plot twist, unexpected, dramatic, and messy. What started as a promising collaboration turned into a scorched earth fallout, complete with betrayal and industry politics. At this point, it feels less like a beef and more like a hip-hop soap opera with egos too big for reconciliation and receipts flying faster than beats. The Game aired Kanye right out, with no edits or repeats. Next time he throws shade, he should bring sunscreen or an umbrella since he clearly can't handle the heat. But we all know he won't, he's Kanye. Is it just me? Or is it hot in here? If you thought Kanye's beef roster was full, welcome to the latest episode featuring Top 5, the Toronto rapper who somehow got caught in the Ye tornado. And trust me, this mess has all the ingredients of a reality show finale. So, Ye was offended by the Game contacting the rapper Top 5, and we know how the Game handled that dispute. How did Top 5 respond, however? Before we get into that, it's important to remember that, similar to his beef with Drake in the Game, it was Ye had a bone to pick with Top 5 due to his affiliation with Drake. And you know what that means in Kanye's world: instant suspicion, instant war. Top 5's alleged connection to Drake might have been the spark. But the real fire came when Kanye accused Top 5 of threatening him over the phone. Yes, you heard that right, Top 5 supposedly called Ye and said some things that didn't sit well with the Chicago mogul. Add to that the fact that Top 5 has a complicated legal situation and a reputation for stirring up controversy, and you have the perfect recipe for Kanye to blow his top. What makes this beef extra juicy is Kanye's bizarre follow-up of FaceTime call with Top 5 himself, after the Game clapped back to his rants on X. Picture that, after all the accusations and threats, Kanye picks up the phone and chats with the guy he publicly roasted. It was like watching a cat chase its own tail, except with more designer sneakers and less logic. This beef is far from over. Whether it kills the documentary 3 or just makes the album drop more chaotic remains to be seen. But one thing is crystal clear. When Ye starts beefing, it's never just about music. It's a full-on soap opera, and the ratings are through the roof. But the saga didn't end there. Nope, Ye had one more name to add to the list, and it was someone we really didn't see coming. Seriously, how is Kanye not exhausted yet? Most people need a nap after one argument. Ye's out here beefing like it's a meat plant. And just when it seemed like he'd run out of targets, he pulled a plot twist and aimed his shade at Playboy Cardi. Yes, the very same Cardi who once stood by Ye's side like a fashion-forward hype man with a vampire aesthetic. Their bromance was giving designer chaos and cult classic energy until it wasn't. Because in true Kanye fashion, what started as collaboration quickly swerved into confrontation without warning, without filter. Their partnership was once so strong, Cardi had even joined Ye's label and appeared on Donda. But by 2025, the energy shifted from mutual admiration to mutual avoidance. According to Ye, Cardi had distanced himself in a way that felt like betrayal, with Kanye claiming that Cardi switched up after the industry started giving him solo spotlight. Suddenly, the man Ye once called a genius was now another name on his hit list of fallen allies. In one of his now-deleted rants, Ye accused Cardi of ghosting him for clout, saying he used the Yeezy cosign, then dipped like a TikTok trend. The shots were subtle at first, but then Ye did what Ye does best: he took it to the stage and the storyline. He started throwing jabs about Cardi's loyalty, saying things like, "I don't do fake friends who talk more to my ops than to me." Oh, and let's not forget the shady lyric leaks, where Kanye reportedly mocks Cardi's voice in Baby Dracula image. Cardi, true to form, kept it cryptic. No direct clapbacks, just a string of dark Instagram stories and deadpan stage quotes that left fans playing lyrical detective. But insiders close to both camps said the tension was real and rising. What made this beef different was that it wasn't explosive, it was icy. Silent shade, designer disses, the Cold War of couture rap beef. And like most of Ye's spiraling fallouts, this one had no clear beginning or end, just a slow burn between two artists who once praised each other's madness, now quietly competing for who can ignore the other harder. But let's be honest, if Kanye's dragging your name, your outfit, or your loyalty through the mud, you've probably earned a permanent slot in his mental group chat of enemies. Cardi might not be responding, but the silence is loud. And knowing Ye, this fashion-forward feud is far from over. I think it's safe to say Kanye's greatest hits aren't just in music, they're in the beefs, the drama, and the unfiltered chaos he leaves in his wake. Whether it's burning bridges with longtime collaborators, beefing with industry titans, or subtweeting half the rap game in one afternoon, Ye continues to prove that controversy isn't just a byproduct, it's part of the brand. He's either writing the most unpredictable chapter in hip-hop history, or starring in the wildest cautionary tale of self-sabotage the internet's ever seen. From Drake to Cardi, from Hov to Top 5, no one seems safe when Kanye's on a rant and has Wi-Fi. And let's be honest, we're still watching. Not because we support it all, but because it's the kind of messy spectacle that makes you pause, rewind, and question how we got here in the first place. Whether he's calling out the industry, ghosting old friends, or throwing lyrical daggers in all caps, One thing's for sure, Ye will always give us something to talk about. So, what do you think? Is Kanye still a misunderstood genius? A fallen icon? Or just the king of controlled chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who should we cover next? Hit like if this wild ride had you glued to the screen. And don't forget to subscribe for more hot takes, rap beefs, and celebrity drama decoded. Oh, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a moment when things go from "he said what" to full-on digital warfare. Remember, it's about the controversy we love and the impact we need. Peace.